have a sneaky outside chance at getting into the playoff picture, and their quarterback is the reason why. Look at the numbers. 15 touchdowns, 0 picks in his last 6 games, and in the process, he's now the 5th player to do that in a single season in NFL history, including the playoffs. So let's talk about this player, Mark Sanchez. I opened the show by saying Deshaun Watson's having the best season no one will ever remember because the team is 4-7. But as you watch the way he's playing right now, what do you see?
Well, he can throw a deep ball with the best of them in the league if he's not the best himself. And he's identifying coverages so well. He's manipulating defenders with his eyes. He looks so calm in the pocket. And when things break down, he has this ability to throw on the run. And he looks so calm and so comfortable in these difficult situations. Look at him hitting guys on the run, throwing them open, right? These guys are covered, and then he throws them open, putting the ball in front of them. His anticipation, his footwork, it's all just uncanny right now, and it's really unfortunate because they're wasting his talent if they don't build around him. So hopefully that happens next year.
Yeah, they had a brutal schedule to start their season. Now, as I mentioned, they've played their way back to sort of the periphery of the playoff race in the AFC. That may be overstating it. But, Bart, what do you see? As you, Bart Scott, watch Deshaun Watson right now, there are not too many quarterbacks in the sport whose names aren't Mahomes that look better than he does.
Well, I would put him right there with Mahomes. I mean, we had this argument last year. If Watson was on the Kansas City Chiefs, I still think the Chiefs are just as dominant with him. He's one of the best players, and he's a winner. He's a guy that can make all the throws. He's a guy that makes everybody around him better. It's just been unfortunate that, one, they couldn't protect him when he got in his early in his career. And then now they traded so many of their assets away as far as draft equity that they're going to have to try and find a creative way to try and get some back so that you can continue to build around him. Now, that he has decent weapons, but they still struggle to protect him at times, mobility to allow him to move around. But I think they're going to have to trade their biggest asset in J.J. Watt next year so that they can try and get some defensive help so that he can be surrounded by a complete team.
Does feel like time to sort of start over there. In the meantime, to the team that lost on Thanksgiving yesterday and tends to do a lot of that, I posted these numbers on Twitter yesterday, and they're just numbers, and it got about as much reaction as almost anything that I've put up on social media in a long time. The Lions fired Jim Caldwell because they felt they should be going deep in the playoffs. He was 36-28 his 4 years there. He was 9-7 his last year. They brought in Matt Patricia to try and beat the good teams. If Matt Patricia won his next 24 games in a row, he would still not have as good a record as Jim Caldwell did while he was there. Those are the facts. You can take from them what you wish. Bart Scott, I'll give you the first crack at this because you're the Detroit native here, and I know this hurts you to your core. What do you think?
I mean, once again, Dad had horrible turkey dinner yesterday. He told me it was miserable, and it's become expected as well. But if you look at the Lions, they gave Matt Patricia everything that he's asked for. They allowed him to make all the moves that he needed. He just hasn't been able to get it done. And I think the Lions fell victim of trying to get that young, smart, innovative young coach for the next 20 years, and they've missed. We've seen it happen with the Rams, with McVay. We've seen it happen. And they went to try and go young and go innovative, but they had a solid piece, a stabilizing force in the organization that hasn't had much stability in its history.
Nico, that's your guy, Matt Patricia, Matty P, you call him. What do you see there?
Yeah, it's tough because I've been with Matt for a long time. Obviously, him being my defensive coordinator, my position coach back in 2009. He's a very smart coach. I can say firsthand, I know how hard he works. He works extremely hard to try and give his team the best chance of winning, but it just hasn't happened to Detroit. Look, there's really no excuses at the end of the day. The NFL is about production. If you're a player and you go out there and you don't perform and you miss tackles or you miss throws, you drop passes, you're going to be fired. So, I mean, it's just tough. If you're the head coach, you're not winning, they're going to move on from you. So I know this year it was kind of right the ship or get off. And at this point right now, it doesn't look like Detroit's going in the right direction.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.